my race strategy evolved, and I think everyone should remember that. I think people go into races expecting perfection. That's not going to happen. It's an unrealistic expectation to go into a race and think that everything's going to go according to plan. It doesn't for me, and it won't for you. Things will go wrong. Your goggles will get knocked off. You'll get a cramp. You'll get a flat tyre. You'll get a stitch on the run. Something will happen. That's racing, and that's what makes your race perfect. Because hopefully you'll overcome those imperfections perfectly. That's why my race was the best. My last race was the best race I'd ever run. Not because everything went perfectly. It was absolutely horrific. But I overcame it all perfectly, and that's what I'm so proud of. So the first thing I realised was that racing in itself is a learning experience. You're always learning and always evolving, and my strategy evolved. Going into the race, I utilised a lot of the techniques that I practiced in training psychologically. And I think the psychological side of sport is one that's overlooked, and people have their logbooks of swim, bike, run, tick, tick, tick. They don't have a logbook for mental training. And then they panic or they worry when things don't go according to plan. Well, that's because they haven't developed the tools. But they are tools, and you can develop them. You can develop mental strength. So I got through the last race in Kona, not only because of, the latent physical strength that I had, but also because of the psychological tools that I'd developed. So whether that's this ability to disassociate my mind from my body and take my mind into a very, very happy place, which I've had to do in training, whether it's breaking the session down. We've all had hard sessions and we thought we haven't been able to do that, so you break it down. We used to do 40 times 100 in the swimming pool at race pace. Bang, 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 bang. Start that final race thinking, oh my God, I'm racing for 9 hours. I just think I've got to get to that swim buoy. And then why do you think I'm smiling when I get out the swim? Because it's awesome. I've gotten out the swim. And then the bike ride is 40k. I can always manage 40k. And then the marathon is 4 lots of 10k and a bit of change. So you break it down. When the going gets really tough, you break it down to the person in front or the aid stations or whatever. But you don't necessarily see it in the entirety. And that was really important to me. Having songs in my head, that's very important. I tend to count repetitively over and over again. Before a race, actually, I used to have a Kona playlist, which is really embarrassing, so no one's ever going to get hold of it. It's got Lion King soundtrack. Embarrassing songs. But I used to run. I used to train on a Lee Drive and on the Queen K or whatever race at Roth I was doing, and I used to listen to my iPod with the playlist. And then I'd identify landmarks with songs, so that when I raced, that's what I heard when I was racing. I heard those songs, and they meant something to me, and they mattered to me. So I think that those are psychological tools that we can all use in training that then you apply them in racing. But it's too late on race day to realise you haven't got them. They've got to be developed in training. But you mentioned the pressure. We all feel pressure. I felt pressure, in every race that I did. We all put pressure on ourselves. That's a beautiful thing about sport. We're challenging ourselves. It's not a challenge. You don't feel any pressure, and it's not worth doing it. Everyone gets nervous. Everyone suffers from lapses in motivation, and everyone feels the pressure. But there are techniques to cope with it. Leaning on other people is really important to me. Watching videos of people that have overcome adversity. Before Kona 2011, I read Sir Steve Redgrave's book, and I realised what he'd been through to get to his 5 gold medals. And I thought, wow, if you can do it, then I can do it too. So that really helps, give me a boost.